Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here and welcome back to some EVE Online. And in today's video I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on our Providence experiments. So as you can see, we're doing a little bit of ratting in K1Y, and it's all been part of the preparations that we've done to be able to experience some nullsec activities with our corporations. And part of that, of course, is ratting. It's one of the major ways, I think, or the easiest ways to actually make money in nullsec. And the site we're running here is a Sanha Haven. It's not a very easy site, but I must say that for our corporation and our setup, it does seem to be the most efficient site to run for us in K1Y. So why this update here? Well, we've been preparing for quite some time, and I've actually been focusing a lot on the preparations for the citadels, but we are also still slowly building up the ships that we have available in K1Y in Providence so that we can do other activities. We happen to be online with 4 out of 5 guys, and we decided to go and do some ratting to see if we can have some fun doing that and if we can run this efficiently, because we brought our battleships into K1Y, but we've now added a little bit of some spider tanking ability as well, as you can see. So the setup is far from optimal, I absolutely agree with that, but that's not what it's about for us. It's about having fun. And so I'm running with my Armageddon, which I feel is still PvP ready. It's got pretty big armor buffer. As you can see, I also have a point and a whip and a cap booster. So if someone were to drop on us with something, I think I could still defend myself. My brother is in his Typhoon, and then we have Arvales and Cedar Bonnet in their Ravens. Now it's of course far from optimal. We've got 2 armor ships, we've got 2 shield ships, and we've got 2 armor repairs, remote armor reps on the armor ships, and also shield boosters on the Raven. So it's far from optimal, but it's not just the ships that are completely different, the pilots are as well. My brother and myself, we have the battleship skills at 5, we have Tech 2 tanks and Tech 2 weapons almost optimally trained, but Arvales and Cedar Bonnet are behind a little bit when it comes to the skills. Still, we want to try and do this activity, and as you can see, it's actually pretty busy in K1Y because we are greeted by a couple of the locals as well who were doing some ratting, but yeah, they just left us to it since we were the first ones in this site. And basically this is the way we've been running these, and it seems to have been working quite well, running havens like this. I think the biggest advantage of these havens is that we can just come in at 0 and everything spawns within like 20 kilometers of us. And the biggest advantage that we have when it comes to that is that the mobile tractor unit has plenty of time to tractor almost all of the wrecks to it, and very close in range for us. Before we even clear the entire site. So there's only going to be a few wrecks left at the very end. And that speeds up the entire site for us by quite a bit, because if we do any of the other ones, we always tend to have wrecks at 30, 40 or even 50 kilometers, and then the tractoring takes so much time that we tend to waste another 10 to 15 minutes if we want to do all the salvaging and all of the looting in the site. Here in these havens is actually perfect for us. We can handle these with no problem. I think we can easily destroy all of the spawns in around 15 minutes, and on top of that the looting is done just a few minutes after that. It's really for us the optimal site at the moment, considering our setups and the skills that we have, of course. I'm sure you can run this solo, of course, it's just gonna take more time, but you will also need like better skills and of course a bit of a blinged out ship if you want to do this alone. Let's say a rattlesnake or something like that, which is quite a bit more expensive than any of the ships that we are flying right here. The one thing about the Haven though is the final spawn. That one is still a little bit risky even for us in this setup. because it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of ships coming out all of a sudden, and they do have a good amount of damage. So what we try to do here, you can see some shield boosts going towards my brother, is that we want to try and make sure that everyone still has cap available by the time the last spawn comes in, so that we can actually have local reps and remote reps going on their main target. It is needed, honestly, if someone would have to do this alone in a Tech 1 battleship, and especially the way my brother and myself are just sitting there because of my sentry drones, you're gonna be in for a bad time. So here we go, that is this final spawn. It's quite a few battleships and a lot of cruisers as well. They've primaried me, and then you will see that my armor is going to start to go down quite significantly, and I need the help of my corps members to actually be able to survive this. So here we go, we try to take out as much DPS as quickly as possible, of course, try to focus down some of the battleships, while our ravens tend to try to go after the cruisers. So it's a little bit of a 50-50 thing that we've got going here, but you can see I'm definitely losing armor. If I were alone, I would not be able to clear out enough DPS fast enough, but with 2 shield boosters and a remote armor rep helping me out, it does help me get through all of this in a very controlled manner. Of course, it's far from optimal. Shield boost, I've got no shield resist to speak of, but it just gives that little bit of extra HP to keep us in the comfortable zone, because later on we did another haven, and as you can see right here, they actually switch to my brother's Typhoon at this point. But we did a second haven where my brother's Typhoon was actually primaried right from the beginning, and he went as low as 20% armor. So it was still pretty risky to try and handle this final spawn. We need to be on the ball. It's all part of the fun, of course. You're still a little bit active in this. You gotta be a bit careful. But here we go. We actually switched our reps, and so now the Typhoon also receives shields and armor reps from everyone, and he's going to be able to handle the rest of the damage here pretty easily. So I understand, a lot of people will probably prefer running sites like this solo, because then they get all of the money and the loot for themselves. But this is how we enjoy doing it, and this is basically what I've been working towards with the Providence experiments. So at first it was like, okay, let's try to build up another base of operations that will give us access to some nullsec activities. And I just said at first, well, you know what? Take your favorite battleship. This here, the Armageddon, is my favorite battleship because I feel that it is still very capable PvE, but also PvP ready. And then, of course, Arveles and Sir Bonnet, they've gone the Raven route, just I think because of how it looks. And my brother is actually a big fan of the Typhoon, also because it looks, but I think he also really likes the Minmatar underdogs. And so here we go, we get mixed battleships running some nullsecs and having fun at the same time. And by now, of course, we are killing the final rat, and everything was really under control. But because I was primaried and I actually have a really big buffer for armor, it looked easier than it actually is. If any of the other guys are targeted, we're actually way closer to structure than what we saw right here. So it is still a lot of damage that comes in on that very final spawn. But we're slowly getting ready after everyone brought in their favorite battleships. We did some testing out, and yeah, havens were pretty tough. So we decided, all right, everyone will have a remote repair module, whether it's shield and armor. It's going to help a little bit either way. And with this setup, yeah, it's fun, and it's the way we're definitely doing them. And you will see right here the biggest advantage for us running the havens like this is the loot. Almost all of the wrecks are already right next to us, right next to the mobile tractor unit, so we can just have all of our salvage drones out doing the salvaging pretty damn quickly. And then just to speed things up, I do always look for rigs that are empty, that have not been tractored yet, and then I will send individual salvage drones on that. But compared to any of the other sites that we've run here, because all of the spawns are this close by,
the Haven is by far the most efficient anomaly that we've been able to run right here in K1Y. It's also a lot of fun for us to do. So there you go. That's the salvaging trick there as well, just to speed the looting up a little bit as well. I go out there and send my drones to those rigs that won't yield any loot, but that still need salvaging. That's just gonna save a little bit more time, but I must say probably 15 minutes of combat and a few more minutes of looting, and these havens are completely done. They're absolutely perfect for us, and they're absolutely a blast. And what I'm personally hoping to show with this is that even for characters that are not super rich and not super skilled, if you work together in a little group and even with whatever ship it is that you want to fly personally, you can still get in on this content and have fun doing it. So perhaps it can inspire some other people to give it a go as well. And of course, Providence is the one place where you can still do this and remain a little bit independent, not have to join any of the big blocks. Anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you guys for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.